Okay, grade 8, we're now going to be talking about 3D conversions, right? So let's look at the example. Volume, for example, is a measure of capacity. So what I mean by that, it usually refers to a liquid. So a liquid's capacity. So you say you have a 2-liter Coke. The capacity of the Coke bottle or the Coke is 2 liters. It doesn't always have to refer to liquids, but it normally refers to liquid capacity. Water is very difficult to compress, and that's what makes it a good example. For example, a 2-liter Coke bottle has 2,000 cubic centimeters. You can maybe already see how we are going to need to convert these various amounts. You might have heard of cubic centimeters, cubic meters, liters, gallons. These are things, or not gallons, but these are things that we are going to deal with in this video. A cubic centimeter, that is a centimeter to the power of 3. Remember, 3 is a cube, and that's where we get our cubic centimeters. So you need to know that that means cubic centimeters. So we got L is a liter. CL is centiliters. C is center. M is milliliters. K is kiloliters. KL, kiloliters. You might recognize the kilo, the milli, the centi. Cubic centimeters, we're going to have cm cubed. That's what you've just done. So what do I mean by cubic centimeters? So let's take a cube that is 1 centimeter width, 1 centimeter height, and 1 centimeter depth. So the volume of this cube is 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. So there's 3 1 centimeters. So what does that make? That makes our centimeter cubed. So the volume of this cube here is 1 centimeter cubed. This is a centiliter, right? Now we make a bigger cube out of this. That is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. That's the width over there, 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, right? So how many of these cubes are going to fit in there? So the volume now is 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters. How many of these cubes? There'll be 10 on the bottom and 10 rows of 10. So, 10 along the bottom here. So there's 10 along the bottom here. 10 rows of these 10, that makes 100. And 10 rows of 100. 10 rows of 100 are 1,000. 10 times 10 times 10. So 1,000 centiliters are equal to 1 liter. Right? So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeters cubed. Right? Or centiliters. So there's 1,000 in a liter. Okay. KL you might see referred to as cubic meter. Right, let's start estimating. We have 1 liter, milliliters, and kiloliters. I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures, and I want you to tell me what unit best describes the picture. Let's look at this oil tanker and this Coke can. Is this oil tanker best measured in liters, milliliters, or kiloliters? Most commonly, you're going to see something like an oil tanker measured in liters. You could get away with kiloliters, but liters is the most common. A Coke can, are we going to measure that in liters or milliliters or kiloliters? Definitely not kiloliters. Liters, you might see a 2-liter Coke bottle, but this is just a can, and that is milliliters. So that is normally 330 milliliters, which is the same as 0.33 liters. Okay, let's look at these next pictures. A swimming pool. Are you going to measure that in milliliters of Coke cans? No. Liters of oil tankers? No, the best here is going to be kiloliters. A bath? Again, liters is going to be the best for a bath. What about a tablespoon in a dam? A tablespoon, can you measure that in liters? No, not really. But milliliters, a tablespoon is approximately 5 milliliters. And then a dam, you might quickly guess, is kiloliters. That might even be a bit small. Okay, let's try an example. Look at the shape alongside. Convert to a single unit. Okay, we have centimeters. Then we have we have millimeters. Then we have centimeters. then we have meters, right? To get from meters to centimeters, we've got to times it by 1,000. Times it by, 100. To get from meters to centimeters. To get from centimeters to millimeters, we've got to multiply it by 10. Remember, the opposite is true for getting the other way. We've got to divide by 10 to get from millimeters to centimeters. And we've got to divide by 100, because remember, there's 100 centimeters in a meter, to get from centimeters to meters. Let's pick the middle one, centimeters, to convert to our single units. So 50 centimeters, that's fine. 10 meters to centimeters, meters to centimeters, times by 100. 10 by 100 is 1,000 centimeters. Millimeters into centimeters, we've got to divide by 10. 100 divided by 10 is simply 10 centimeters. Great, now they're all in a single unit. Good. Let's calculate the surface area. Right, so the surface area of a rectangular prism, you remember this from our previous videos, is equal to 2, the height times the length, plus the height times the depth, plus the length times the depth. So 50 is our height, 10 is our, or 1,000 is our length, and 10 is our depth. So let's sub that in. That is equal to 2. What's our height? 50. Multiplied by our length, which is 1,000. Plus, what's our height times our depth? Our height is 50. Our depth is 10. Plus our length, which is 1,000. Multiplied by our depth, which is 10. Right? We can sub those all together to get 2 times 50,000, plus 500. Remember, we just add the noughts, plus 10,000. What happens when we add all those together? 50,000 plus 10,000 is 60,000, plus 500 is 60,500. So that is equal to 60,500, all multiplied by 2, don't forget that. If you're battling with this, just do a long addition question, just set it out correctly. What is 2 multiplied by 60,500? 2 multiplied by 60,000 is 120,000, and that 500 multiplied by 2 is 1,000. So that's 121,000 exactly. Is that our answer? No, it is now in centimeters cubed. Sorry, not centimeters cubed, it is in centimeters squared. Remember, it's surface area. Okay, the volume of a rectangular prism is equal to the height or the length times the height times the depth. That easy. We've got to keep our units the same, so that's 50. Sorry, that is the height, 50, multiplied by the length, which is 1,000. I've mixed those two around, but it doesn't matter. Times the depth of 10. Okay, we can times the zeros over here. Let's do that first. So that equals 50 multiplied by 10,000. That makes sense. 10 times 1,000 is 10,000. 50 times 10,000 is 500,000. And that is our answer, is it? No, it is in centimeters cubed. Now it's cubed because we're talking area or volume, not surface area. Let's convert the following. Milliliters to centiliters to liters to kiloliters. I've given it here. So how do we get from liters to kiloliters? Or let's rather go, how do we get from kiloliters to a liter? To get this way, we've got to multiply by 1,000. To get from here, liters to centiliters, we've got to multiply by 100. To get from centiliters to milliliters, we've got to multiply by 10. Getting backwards is the exact opposite. Divide by 10, divide by 100, and divide by 1,000. Right? So 25 liters. We've got to divide that by 1,000 to get kiloliters. So we've got 25, and the dot is there. Divide by 1,000, we need to go 1, 2, 3. So there's a 0 and a 0. And it'll go that way, so we get 0.0 25. Centiliters, we've got to multiply it by 100. That's quite easy. We just add 2 zeros. And now we're going to multiply it by another 10. So we just add another 0. 25,000. Right. Let's have a look. 0.867 kiloliters. Let's multiply by 1,000. We go 1, 2, 3. And that'll give us 867 liters. We're going to multiply it by another 100. 86700. That's 86,700 centiliters. And another 0 to get to milliliters. 867,000. That's it. Right, 300 milliliters. How do we get to centiliters? We got to divide by 10, so that gives us 30 centiliters. Divide by 100, so the decimal is there. Let's add some zeros. Divide by 100, we've got to move a 2. So we go 1, 2. So that's going to equal 0.3 liters. Divide by another 1,000. Let's add some zeros in here just for practice. To divide by 1,000, we move 3 because there's 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. There's our new decimal. So it's 0.123, and then the 3. Right? Okay, 0.05 liters into kiloliters. We got to divide by 1,000 again. So we got to go another 3 across. So we're going 1, 2, 3. That's 0.1234, and then our 5. Oh. Now we got to times by 100, so we got to go 2 this way, and that is simply going to equal 5, or we could say 5.0 centiliters, and then times it by 10 to get 50 milliliters. And that's how we converted the following. See if you can do that. Rewind the video and try and do that by yourself. Okay, well done grade 8. We're now going to move on to the last section in 3D shapes, and that is problem solving.